let's talk a little bit about survival and what allows some organisms to survive while other organisms die. And by organisms, make sure you know I'm talking about any plant or animal. Now, we know that all animals and plants are adapted to survive in their environment. And by that I mean, you think about a polar bear. It is perfectly adapted to survive in a polar region. It has that thick white fur that helps it stay warm in the cold and help it blend in the snow. And a cactus is perfectly adapted to survive in a desert. It has no leaves, so it doesn't lose water, and it has the roots that soak up lots of water and a stem that holds it in. So what happens if the environment around an organism changes? What's going to happen to that organism? Now, the environment can change in many ways. It could be something that happens quickly, like a fire or a tornado or a hurricane or a volcanic eruption. Or the environment could change slowly over time. Things like climate change, where the environment gets warmer or cooler over many hundreds or thousands of years. We could also be talking about the amount of rainfall. Some places gradually get more and more rainfall, or the other way, less rainfall. But why do some organisms live and some organisms die? Well, it's not a matter of choice. If you left it up to an organism, does it want to survive? They're all going to say yes. But it's not up to them. It's by chance. Some organisms just happen to be better adapted to survive during this new change. My favorite example of all time is on this board that's called the peppered moth. The peppered moth was this moth that was originally, back a couple hundred years ago, it was white and it was speckled brown. And it lived on these trees that, you guessed it, were white with black speckled spots. Now this moth was perfectly adapted to survive on this tree. It blended in. But some of these moths had this weird adaptation that made them extra dark, almost like a black color. Now, these moths did not survive very well. You can guess, because the birds were able to see them on the white tree. Black moth, they were easy pickings. But then something happened. The Industrial Revolution happened in England, which factories were pumping lots of smoke out into the environment, and that smoke turned the trees black. Well, now all those white moths, they stood out, and all the black moths, they blended in. And the birds started eating all the white moths, and the black moths survived to live. So the question is, what made the black moth better adapted to survive? And the answer is luck. It just so happened that that black moth was the same color that the soot colored the trees. It was pure luck. If you asked that white moth, do you want to be a black moth? He would have said, yes, I would really like to be a black moth. But he can't. He can't change his colors. So you have to remember, adaptation, when an animal changes as a response to their environment, it's by chance. It's pure luck. Some organisms have something special that help them survive, while other organisms don't. So if that organism can't change or it can't move, there's only one other option: to die.